This that I'm showing here was created yesterday and today. Not only the graphics, but also the thinking behind it. The point here is that in order to help, when you are a researcher or a user of very complex and qualified data, that also can be risky or mean that you actually can create disruptions due to high volumes of data. A good thing would be for you to pre-flight test your search routine, so you don't create problems when initiating a search for instance, in this case, satellite data of different types and of complexity. So here are the challenges that was initially presented. It's also an issue about need for improved access control. Is the user aware of what kind of data he is downloading, and can he use it properly? Because it's not only that you can download data, you should also have a kind of a check that you actually have a right competence to manage it. You can have a pre-flight in which also can then be connected to, for instance, a bit more advanced access control system that is then used in the logic for evaluating what kind of capacity you will have in the system for searches. And it's all meant to prevent challenges in accessing the data sets. If you, for instance, are handling space data, you will find out that, okay, you want this data, but suddenly you don't have any transfer capacity or calculation capacity to perform it. And also to add new types of advanced filtering. So what I'm just now going to show you is a interface, and then I'm going to mention the different kind of components, parts of it, but it's no programming behind it because it's too short and too early. So the overall scenario here is that this is the map for a search, and in this case it is two different types of searches that will be available. The first top level here is a kind of a general search parameters in which I can, as a user, search according to general header information for the data set that is common between all data sets. I can use rating systems like, for instance, JUST or some other kind of rating system that is subject specific, because this is going to be domain specific. I can use keyword searches and vector searches, vector database searches. So this is the first general data set, the general search structure. But below here, you can then also add more specific type of search routines or search functionalities. You can use the searching for the domain and subdomain or advanced. In this case, we have taken out that we want to perform a search on data set for space covering a specific area, in which I then can search by pop-up menus that I want to have a map type of this specific area that I've highlighted, what scale I want to have it, what security level, what export format, and what license type I want to use. So this is just an example of a search dialog for this specific area. Now, what happens then behind this one when the user presses for pre-flight? The components here is that we have the user interface, of course, but then we have a database object or several database objects that will handle the data that we are going to send, that we are going to search on. So mentioned here is that it's actually a issue about multiple databases that parallel will be used. In this case, for instance, the more advanced access control system. In this specific case, the registry or the ledger for the availability of computing resources. And the point here is that when I press search here, a JSON file with parameters are created that is going to be sent using a validity processor as a processing agent that will take this information, connect to the relevant databases, perform searches, and then perform logic on it if I'm available or able to access the information. And if that is okay, then the earlier mentioned pre-flight button at the first screen will turn to execute search if I'm approved. If not, go. Okay. If not, then I get a list of recommendations for what I would do in order to be able to perform this operation. This information area is then available all the time when I'm working and entering information or evaluating what is on the screen for a specific help for that specific functionality. Oh, sorry. 5:35 amended.